So the Saturday before Mother's Day, about 4 weeks ago, I was laying in bed at night and I had a mosquito bite kind of up here on my chest. So I was rubbing it, and when I rubbed it, I could feel something hard at the very top of my breast, and I thought, that feels weird. Like, admittedly, I have never been one to self-check, so I would say always self-check. It's easy to say that now. But anyway, I thought, you know what? I better move my mammogram up, because I had a mammogram scheduled for June, and I thought I better move it up and see if I can get this checked out. I assumed it was nothing. So I called Monday morning to try to move my mammogram up, and they said, oh, well, if you feel something, you're going to need to go see your OB and get a referral for a diagnostic mammogram. And I said, okay, fine. So my OB was going to see me at 7 o'clock the next morning, really quick. So that night, before I went in to see my OB, I thought, you know what? I'm going to be like super responsible. I'm going to check my other side just to make sure that we're all good. So I'm checking my right side, and darned if I didn't find another lump. And I thought, you've got to be kidding me. That's kind of bizarre. Anyway, so went to my appointment the next morning. She checked me. She said, I really feel like that's just normal breast density, and I feel like this is just a cyst. And I said, okay, well, that's good. That's good. So she said, well, you better, let's go ahead and do the diagnostic mammogram, get you in. I'm like, okay, good, good. So a couple days later, I got sent for my diagnostic mammogram. And I had a diagnostic mammogram last February, and it was clear, all good. So I went in, and they started taking screens of both sides. And they kept taking screens, and they kept taking screens. They must have taken 26 screens. And I thought, that is not a good sign. So then they said, well, we see the areas that you're talking about, so we want to ultrasound those. So we went to the ultrasound room. They ultrasounded me for an hour. They ultrasounded me, and I thought, this is not going to end well for me. At this point, I had pretty much resolved myself the fact that I had breast cancer. The radiologist came in, and she said, she was speaking in the sweetest, most calming voice I have ever heard news delivered in. And I thought, oh, this is not good. And so she said, I am very concerned about these areas. They're definitely not a cyst, it's a mass. And I said, well, what do you think it looks like? And she said, I think it looks like breast cancer. And I said, okay. I mean, I knew at this point, you know. And so she said, we're going to need to get these areas biopsied. And I said, okay. Well, it wasn't just the two masses that they found. They found all these areas of calcification that were concerning, very concerning. And she kept using the word extensive on my left side, that the area was extensive. And I thought, I mean, let's be honest, my breasts are not that big. So if it's extensive, you know, that just sounds like the whole thing to me. So I was going to have 4 biopsies done. And so they had to schedule that, because if it had just been 1, they could do it there. But it was 4. So I had to go and have 4 biopsies done, 2 masses, which they biopsied while doing ultrasound, and 2 calcification areas biopsied, which they do while you're laying on a table with a hole cut in it for your chest, and there's a mammogram machine under the table that's holding you while they do the biopsies. So I'm not gonna lie, the biopsy experience was the most pain I've ever experienced in my life so far up to today. It was excruciating. Not the biopsy part, but the numbing medicine needles it was super painful, those shots. And I had to get 10 to 12 shots in the different, to cover all the different areas I was going to have biopsy. So once that was over, I had to wait over a weekend and till the next week to get the call that they did come back as cancerous. And so then I had to wait more to meet with my cancer surgeon, and that is where I'll pick up on the next episode of my journey to breast cancer.